Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to you live from Union Stadium on the campus of Sacramento City College for the 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final in Game 3 of this best-of-3 series between the number 5-seeded Ohlone College Renegades and the host and home team, the number 4-seeded Sacramento City College Panthers. Folks, it's pretty simple. Win or go home. The last piece to the state championship puzzle, which begins Saturday in Fresno, California, will be decided here, as the top seeds from the north and south, San Joaquin Delta College of Stockton and Orange Coast College from Southern California, have stamped their tickets. The number 2 seed in Southern California, El Camino Warriors, also stamping their ticket to next weekend's Final Four in Fresno. So the winner of this will open up against the top seed from Southern California next Saturday down in Fresno. They will take on the Orange Coast Pirates. Panthers won game 1 of this series on a walk-off walk in 10 innings, 7-6. Renegades bounced back in an elimination game and beat the Panthers 12-1 on Saturday. And due to the weather, we are playing Monday morning baseball here on the campus of Sacramento City College in a winner-take-all game. For the Renegades, it'll be the same batting order that Coach Michael Caranas ran out there the first 2 games of the series. Leads things off with the left fielder, number 13, Justin Clark, followed by designated hitter Brett Tresson. In the 3-spot, third baseman Dalton Van Hill. Batting cleanup, right fielder Zach Patterson. 5-spot, number 36, Michael Gallagher at first base. He'll be followed by the shortstop, number 8, Bradley Norton. And the 7-spot center fielder, Max Heverly, followed by the second baseman, Luke O'Brien, and the catcher, Cody Nisbet, rounds things out for the Renegades. Taking the ball for the Renegades, number 14, Andrew Amato, who has an appearance already in this series, as he was on the mound and issued that bases-loaded walk to T.J. Wheeler for the Panthers to get that walk-off 7-6 win. Although Amato did not get the loss, it was Zach Patterson who allowed Kobayashi to reach in the bottom of the 10th inning. So, leading things off for the Renegades, left fielder Justin Clark. And for the Panthers, defensively around the horn in the outfield from left to right, Kobayashi, Sayre, and Galati. Around the horn on the infield, third to first, Diana, McClary, Walsh, and Wheeler. The battery here for the Panthers in Game 3 of this series is Kevin Sines behind the plate doing the catching, and Tanner Kuna on the mound for the Panthers. The first offering to Clark is fouled, line drive down the left field line, out of play. So Kuna ahead, no balls and 1 strike to the leadoff man, Justin Clark. In the designated hitter slot today, getting the start, Nick Sorelli. As Tanner Kuna, the left-hander, works on the right-handed hitting Clark, and that fastball is outside, ball 1. So the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Kuna stares down Sines for the pitch. Fastball is fouled straight back over the press box here at Union Stadium, and Kuna ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clark, a .369 hitter. This is 188th at bat. And breaking ball is lined to McClary, and he goes airborne to grab that one and prevent a leadoff knock by the left fielder Justin Clark. So 1 up and 1 down for Kuna and the Panthers. That brings up the designated hitter Brett Tresson. So Kuna floated that curveball in there, and Clark had a nice piece on it, but McClary able to go vertical and snap it out of the air for the first out of the morning, and that breaking ball on the outside part of the plate called strike 1. So same 3-man crew we've had all series long. The rotation today, down the third base line, Danny Speck, over at first, Dean Poteet, and behind the plate, Brian Wilkinson. As the 0-1 pitch by Kuna, another breaking ball, and swing by the designated hitter Brett Tresson, and Kuna ahead on the 2-man in the Renegades order. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, southpaw Kuna winds, the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. This one fouled. Drifting over into foul territory is the first baseman, TJ Wheeler, and right in front of the fence, he has the grab in foul territory, the second out of the inning, and that brings up the third baseman, Dalton Van Hill. So 2 up, 2 down for Kuna. Kuna, step back, quick pitch, fastball just outside, ball 1. Second pitch from Kuna to Van Hill is a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Renegades' third baseman. Kuna's wind, breaking ball outside and low, ball 2. So for Kuna, this is 18th appearance, 11th start, 62 2/3 innings, 5-3 record, 5.31 earned run average. As he winds, the 2-1 pitch is a fastball in there, called strike 1, and the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kuna stares down his catcher's signs. He has it. Another fastball in there, called strike 3, and Van Hill is just looking. And Brian Wilkinson with an inside fastball, called strike 3. So Kuna sets down the Renegades in order in the top of the first inning. We're headed to the home half. Scoreless between the Renegades and the Panthers. So bottom of the first inning, 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final, Game 3. And scoreless between the Renegades and the Panthers. As the Panthers send the top of the order here in the bottom of the first, it'll be Sayre, Galati, and Signs to face the right-hander, Andrew Amato. A look at Amato's line after first pitch. Fastball in there. Called strike 1 by Brian Wilkinson. So for Amato, this his 22nd appearance, 13th start, a 9-3 record, 3.36 earned run average, and 77 2/3 innings of work. And the right-hander out of the stretch. Fastball, this one off the plate outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sayre waits the 1-1 pitch from Amato. Fastball hit out into right center field past the glove of Luke O'Brien. And a leadoff single for the center fielder, Dan Sayre, and that brings up the right fielder, Anthony Galati. So speed on the base paths for the Panthers, as Sayre is aboard with the leadoff single. And Galati bats with nobody away. Sayre on first in a scoreless bottom of the first inning here at Union Stadium. Fastball outside, ball one. A left-handed hitting Galati facing the right-hander Amato. Again, this game will decide the final piece to the state championship puzzle to be played next weekend in Fresno, California. The winner of this will take on SoCal's top seed, Orange Coast. And the other matchup, it'll be the top seed from the north, San Joaquin Delta College, taking on the 2 seed from Southern California, the El Camino Warriors. Couple checks on Sayre over at first base, and now a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. The count even 1 ball, 1 strikes to Anthony Galati. Galati, a .340 hitter. Second on the team for the Panthers behind Sayre, who bats .341. And that pitch swung on and missed by Galati, and Galati is behind Amato, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sayre, 16 stolen bases on the season, caught just 3 times. As he has his sign from Coach Sullivan, takes his lead at first base as Galati settles back into the batter's box. Amato sets the pitch. Fastball outside, fouled off by Galati, straight into the plexiglass here at Union Stadium. And Nisbet was popping out of his stance, anticipating that Sayre was running on that pitch. Sayre, just with an aggressive secondary, was not taken off. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Amato sets at the chest. Long hold here. And now timeout called by Galati at the plate. And that could have just been one of those long hold called by the Renegades dugout to see if Sayre would twitch or potentially leave early. And he did not, and timeout called by Galati. So the reset and the 1-2 pitch upcoming from Amato is a breaking ball, and Galati smashes that down the right field line. That's going to one-hop the fence here at Union Stadium. Galati's going to second. Sayre all the way to third. He'll be held up by third base coach Drew Henning as that ball gets by both cutoff men and finally ends up in the third baseman's hand, Dalton Van Hill. But a mistake pitch by Amato ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He hangs a breaking ball, and Galati smashes it to right field, a one-hopper down the right field line up against the fence. And the Panthers are in business, second and third, and here comes the catcher, Kevin Sines. So Sines and the Panthers with a golden opportunity here in the bottom half of the first inning. Scoreless between the Renegades and the Panthers. And the pitch by Amato is a breaking ball, chopped, and Dalton Van Hill goes airborne to get the ball. His play is to try to get Sayre at third base, and Sayre dives back in safely ahead of the tag. So Kevin Sines is aboard on the fielder's choice, and the bases are loaded. Sayre wasn't too far off, not in no man's land, dead man's territory down there on the third baseline, but Van Hill thought he had a chance at him, and the speedy Sayre takes 1 crossover step, slides back in safely ahead of the tag. That brings up the cleanup man, TJ Wheeler. So bases loaded, nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Game 3 of this 3C2A NorCal sectional final. And the Renegades, Andrew Amato, fastball low and outside, ball one to the cleanup man, Wheeler. So Van Hill did a great job of getting to that ball, as that was a high chopper, a one-hopper off the bat that Signs beat into the ground. And full extension, Van Hill went up and got it, and his first check was the runner Sayre at third base, and he thought he had an opportunity to get him, hung out to dry, but instead Sayre slides back in safely. And now Amato is behind Wheeler, 2 balls and no strikes. So for the cleanup man, Wheeler, the left-handed hitting Wheeler, sitting on 24 RBIs, a 286 hitter, would love to pick up at least one, if not a couple more RBIs here to add to his season total, and he's ahead and in the leverage seat, 3 balls and no strikes against Amato. Amato sets. Fastball's in there, called strike one. So Wheeler still ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike. As Amato sets. Fastball is drilled out to the right fielder, Zach Patterson, on a 3-hopper, and he bobbles that, and that's going to allow Gallagher to come around and score as well. So 1 RBI single for Wheeler. The other run scores on the fielding error by Patterson, and the Panthers lead the Renegades 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Runners at first and second, still nobody out, as the Panthers' second baseman Daniel Walsh comes to the plate. So conference at the mound as Cody Nisbet goes out to talk to his pitcher, Amato. And we'll take a slight break. So after the conference by the Renegades infield, Daniel Walsh steps in. Check on Signs at second. The pitch is a fastball foul back into the netting here at Union Stadium. A good hack at the first fastball that Amato offered by Walsh. Daniel Walsh, the number 3 man on the leading hitter totem pole for the Panthers, batting .325, 44 RBIs. As he hits one down the right field line, that ball's going to stay. No, it's not. It's going to hook foul. 2 feet of foul territory down the right field line, and that one just tailed off the bat of Walsh into foul territory, as Patterson was not going to get to that ball. And Amato ahead of Walsh, no balls and 2 strikes. So initially off the bat, it looked like it was going to stay true down that line, stay fair, and then just started tailing and biting hard as it hooked foul. Or for the golfers out there, as it sliced foul. So the 0-2 pitch, Amato sets. Breaking ball, hit out into right center field. Calling for it is Patterson, and bluffing the tag at second base is Signs, as the throw goes in on a 1-hopper to Dalton Van Hill. So the first out on an F9 off the bat of Walsh, and that brings up designated hitter Nick Sorelli. Oh, 1 out, and the designated hitter Left-handed hitting Nick Sorelli steps in for the Panthers. Panthers looking to add to their 2-0 lead. Sorelli looks at a breaking ball from Amato in there called strike one. Check on signs at second. Now the pitch. Another breaking ball. This one sent out to deep center field. Now turning the center fielder heavily around. And that catch is made 2 steps in front of the warning track. So advancing to third will be signs on the F8 as Sorelli hit that to the deepest part of Union Stadium. Anywhere else other than center, and that ball is out of here. But hit it 410, and the fence to center is 415. So that brings up third baseman Joey Daini. So runners at the corners for third baseman Joey Daini. 2 away. Wheeler at first, Signs at third. Amato's pitch is a fastball up and in, ball 1 to Daini. Daini batting .296 on the season. Has 40 hits, 8 doubles, 7 triples, 3 homers, and 26 RBIs. And the pitch from Amato is a fastball in there called strike one. So the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Daini has a sign from Coach Sullivan. He steps back into the box as Amato sets at the chest. The 1-1 pitch, fastball fouled straight back into the netting here at the U. And Amato ahead of Daini, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So game 3, decisive game 3 of this best of 3 series between the 5th-seeded Ohlone Renegades and your host, the 4th-seeded Sacramento City College Panthers. Panthers leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Breaking ball as Daini offered at it, and that ball is going to squirt away from Nisbet. Signs will score, and Daini is aboard on the wild pitch. Strikeout, and that brings up the left fielder, Maimu Kobayashi, as that ball was in the dirt and unable to be handled by Nisbet. Daini offered at it and immediately hustled down to first base, and no play for the Renegades. So 2 away, 3 across, and here comes Maimu Kobayashi. So a great 1-2 pitch by Amato, and unfortunately for the Renegades, the ball bounced in the dirt. It did get Daini to chase, but unable to keep it in front was Nisbet, as that ball bit hard and bounced hard. And now the first pitch to Kobayashi is in there called strike one. So signs across on the wild pitch. Wheeler up to second and Daini at first. As Kobayashi looks at a breaking ball. That one's in there as well, called strike two. Kobayashi batting .322. And he's behind Amato, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from Amato is a fastball up and outside, ball 1. Well, Kobayashi back in the box as Amato stares down Nisbet for the sign. Sets, checks on Wheeler at second. Now the 1-2 pitch is a fastball. This one sprayed down the right field line, out of play by Kobayashi as he stays alive. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. So blue skies, partly cloudy here in Sacramento, California, above Union Stadium. As Amato sets the breaking ball, catches the outside part of the plate, called strike 3, and Kobayashi is down looking. But the Panthers get 3 on 3 hits, 1 error. They strand 2. We're headed to the top of the second. Panthers lead the Renegades 3-0. So for the Renegades in the top of the second inning, it'll be 4, 5, 6, Patterson, Gallagher, and Norton as they trail the Panthers 3-0. And the left-hander Kuna winds. The fastball is driven out to left field. Giving chase is Kobayashi. And that ball is out of here just to the left of the scoreboard at Union Stadium. And Patterson puts the Renegades on the board with a solo shot to lead off the top half of the second inning. For Patterson, that's his 14th home run of the season, 53rd RBI. And that brings up the first baseman, Michael Gallagher. So the top hitter for the Renegades, batting .384 coming in. Team high 14 home runs. That is 53rd RBI. And Kuna back to work facing Gallagher. And that curveball gets away from him and hits Gallagher. Obviously no intent there on a breaking ball that just stayed arm side on the lefty-lefty matchup. And Gallagher heads down to first base. And that brings up the shortstop, Bradley Norton. So middle infielders Walsh and McClary out to Kuna to settle him down. Number 6 batter in the Renegades order, shortstop Bradley Norton. Shortstop for the Renegades sets in. Breaking ball by Kuna is down in the dirt. Ball 1. So top of the second inning. Runner at first base, nobody away. And the pitch by Kuna, another breaking ball. This one swung on and missed by Norton. And the count runs even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kuna sets, checks on the runner at first. Now the 1-1 pitch is a fastball. Hit to Daini at third, over to Walsh at second, on to Wheeler at first base. And Kuna and any pitcher's best friend, a ground ball double play on the 5-4-3. And that brings up the center fielder, Max Heverly, with no one aboard and 2 away. Breaking ball by Kuna on the outside part of the plate, called strike 1. And it looks in for the sign. Wind up, change up that keeps running away, arm side outside, ball one. The center fielder Max Heverly, a .233 hitter on the season for the Renegades. 1-1 pitch is in on the hands of two-hopper to McClary as he charges on to first base. Wheeler. And the Renegades get one on the solo shot by Patterson, but that's it. We're headed to the bottom of the second inning. The Panthers leading the Renegades 3-1. So for the Panthers in the bottom half of the second inning, it'll be 9-1-2, McClary, Sayre, and Galati. Panthers lead the Renegades 3-1. And fastball is swung on foul tipped into Cody Nisbet's glove. And Andrew Amato ahead. No balls, one strike to the Panthers shortstop. McClary batting .250 on the season. And that pitch is on the outside corner, called strike two. So McClary behind no balls, two strikes, looking to get something going for the Panthers here in the bottom half of the second inning. Amato's fastball just off the plate outside. A good pitcher's pitch, but McClary does not chase. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Amato's pitch is a breaking ball sent out to right field, and that one's going to land in front of Patterson as the ball nearly squibbed by him, but he's able to barehand it and keep it in front of him. And McClary does his job and gets things started for the Panthers in the bottom half of the second inning. And that brings up center fielder Dan Sayre. So Sayre bats here in the second with one aboard, nobody out. Sayre singled his first time through. And breaking ball that doesn't break stays high is ball 1-2 Sayre, the top hitter for the Panthers, batting .341 coming into this game. Pitch a breaking ball sent out to shallow left field. Coming in is the left fielder Clark, and he's there for the catch. Calls off the shortstop, and that chases McClary back to first base. And here comes the right fielder, number 30, Anthony Galati. So Anthony Galati comes up. Already has a double here today. And he bats with one away. McClary on at first base. Amato, a quick check on McClary at first base. Comes set at the chest. The pitch is a fastball in there called strike one. Galati has his sign from Coach Sullivan. Settles back into the batter's box. And Amato gets his sign from Nisbet. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball. This one fouled over the third base stands here at Union Stadium. And Amato had no balls, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Galati. Amato sets. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball high, ball 1. So 0-2 right there. Amato trying to get Galati to chase the high fastball. But that pitch not competitive enough, not close enough to the zone to entice Galati. And the first ball issued to the Panthers right fielder. Quick check on McClary over at first base. Quick move by Amato, but a soft throw. Actually one hop the first baseman, Gallagher, as McClary is back in safely. So the 1-2 pitch upcoming to Galati is a changeup outside, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the on-deck circle for the Panthers, catcher Kevin Sines. Looking for an opportunity to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Nisbet sets outside. The pitch from Amato is outside but high. And the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So full count pitch by Amato. As McClary's off and rain, that's ball 4 issued to Galati on a fastball way outside. And Galati heads down to first base on the free pass. McClary at second. And here comes the catcher, Kevin Sines. So catcher Kevin Sines steps in. 2 aboard, 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Panthers lead the Renegades 3-1. Check on McClary at first base. He slides back in safely. Amato's pitch is a changeup fouled straight back over the press box here at Union Stadium. And Sines behind no balls, 1 strike. Amato checks on McClary twice. Pitch is a breaking ball that misses high and outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach Sullivan in the Panthers dugout going through the offensive signs. And now McClary and Galati out to their leads as Sines awaits the 1-1 pitch from Amato. Fastball in there called strike 2. So Signs looking for something middle in there, lets the fastball on the outside part of the plate go by. And he's behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Signs reached on the fielder's choice, came around to score the 3rd run of that bottom of the 1st inning for the Panthers. Bats here with a chance to drive in a run. McClary at second base. And fastball is waved on and missed by Signs, and he's back to the dugout down on strikes. And it'll be up to TJ Wheeler. So the cleanup man, first baseman TJ Wheeler, digs in. Wheeler 1 for 1 here today. Breaking ball, big swing, big miss by Wheeler, as he was looking to put that one on the softball field and came up empty. So Amato had no balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch by Amato. Fastball, this one fouled into the netting above the Renegades dugout on the third base side of Union Stadium. And Andrew Amato ahead of Wheeler. No balls, 2 strikes. Amato has a sign from his catcher, Nisbet. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball up out of the zone, ball 1. So another 0-2 high fastball by Amato, looking to get these Panther hitters to chase. But the catcher, Cody Nisbet, had to come out of his crouch, stand up to receive that one. So not competitive enough, not close enough to that zone to get the Panthers to chase. And pitch is in the dirt. Skipped in front of home plate, blocked nicely by Nisbet to keep the ball in front and prevent the Panther runners from advancing. As that off-speed pitch bounced 3 feet in front of home plate from Amato. And so the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. If you're Amato and the Renegades, this is the pitch you want to go after Wheeler on. Don't want to run into a full count and give those runners a head start. As Amato checks on McClary. The pitch is a breaking ball. Hit the other way to the shortstop, a 2-hopper. Flip over to O'Brien, does just beat Galati for the putout. So no runs for the Panthers in the bottom of the second. They lead the Renegades 3-1. We're headed to the top of the 3rd inning. Two-hopper to Wheeler behind first base. He takes it himself for the 3 unassisted putout on Luke O'Brien, the leadoff batter for the Renegades in the top of the 3rd inning. He is the 8th batter in the order, so now it'll be the 9 batter, Cody Nisbet, followed by the leadoff man, Justin Clark. So the number 9 batter and catcher, Cody Nisbet, comes up. And the first fastball from Kuna is in the dirt, ball 1. Tanner Kuna winds up. Fastball inside, just off the plate, ball 2. So Kuna behind the 9 batter Nisbet, 2 balls, no strikes. Nisbet shows bunt, pulls back, and the breaking ball's in there, called strike 1. Breaking ball outside off the plate, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch by Kuna is a fastball up out of the zone. And a base on balls issued to Nisbet. First walk of the game by Kuna, although he did hit Gallagher back in the 2nd inning. Well, that brings up the leadoff man, left fielder Justin Clark. Nisbet not much of a lead over at first base. And the pitch is a breaking ball low and inside, blocked by Signs. As he goes to his knees to keep that ball in front of him and make sure Nisbet's unable to advance, keeping the double play in order. Kuna sets at the belt. Fastball hit to the third baseman, Diani, over to Walsh, on to first base, and he is taken out at second base by Nisbet, but the throw in time to Wheeler, and we are headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Panthers lead the Renegades 3-1. So for the Panthers here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, it will be Walsh, Sorelli, and Diani, 5, 6, 7 for the Panthers, leading the Renegades 3-1 here in Game 3 of the 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final. Winner advances to the state championships this coming weekend down in Fresno, California, as that breaking ball stays up and in for ball 1 on Walsh. So the top seed Delta Mustangs will open up against the number 2 seed from SoCal, the El Camino Warriors. That game will be played this Saturday. May 25th at 12 noon at John Eulis Ballpark at Fresno City College. And the winner of this will take on the top seed from Southern California, Orange Coast, at 6 p.m. That game this Saturday at May 25th as well. The 1-1 pitch is hit down to the right fielder, Patterson, for the first out, and that brings out the designated hitter, Nick Sorelli. Oh, one away, and Sorelli bats, and the first fastball he sees from Amato is fouled over the third base seating here at Union Stadium, and Amato ahead. No balls, one strike to Sorelli. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball low and inside, gets away from Nisbet. And Nisbet slightly shaken up as he reached across his body trying to backhand that low and inside pitch. He was set up outside expecting the pitch away from Amato, and instead it came back inside. Fastball outside. This one also fouled out of play. And Amato had 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sorelli 0 for 1 this afternoon. Hit that deep fly ball 410 feet away from home plate directly to straightaway center field. As Max Heverly able to grab it. And that pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, backhanded nicely by Nisbet. Count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch by Amato is a breaking ball. Pulled foul down the first base line. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. So for Sorelli, batting .235 on the season, limited action as he was on the shelf with an injury the majority of the season, but is able to bounce back and play here in the third round of playoffs. Had a couple ABs in games 1 and 2 of this series, and now gets the start in the designated hitter slot for the Panthers. And that fastball fouled out of play again over the third base seating here at Union Stadium. So 2-2. Amato has the sign from Nisbet. The pitch is an off-speed pitch inside, fouled straight down in the batter's box by Sorelli. And he stays alive, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joey Daini awaits his opportunity here in the third in the on-deck circle, wondering if he'll bat with 1 out and a man aboard or 2 away, nobody on. As Sorelli continues to grind it out this at-bat with Andrew Amato. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball, another foul ball straight back into the net. Nick Sorelli seeing the ball good this at-bat. Fastballs, off-speed pitches. He's holding his own against Amato. Not bad for a guy who hasn't seen live pitching in a game situation other than games 1 and 2 in the better part of 2 months. And that fastball is inside, and Sorelli unable to pull the trigger. He's down looking for the second out of the inning. That brings up the third baseman, Joey Daini. So Daini steps in looking to extend the inning for the Panthers. On the other side for the Renegades and Amato, looking to post their first 3-up, 3-down inning of the game here in the bottom of the third inning, as that breaking ball is in there, called strike one from the right-hander Amato. So the strikeout on Sorelli, the fourth of the afternoon for Andrew Amato. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball outside, ball one. So Daini digs back into the box. Amato's pitch. It's a fastball way outside, ball two. So plenty of sunshine here today in Sacramento, California for the decisive Game 3 of this 3C2A NorCal Super Sectional Final, as the breaking ball is in there, called strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Daini. Fastball is swung on a miss, and that's strikeout number 5. And the Panthers go down in order for the first time this afternoon. We're headed to the top of the fourth inning. Panthers lead the Renegades 3-1. So for the Renegades here in the top half of the fourth inning, it'll be 2, 3, 4, Tresson, Van Hill, and Patterson. And back out to work for the Panthers, the left-hander Kuna, as he looks into his catcher signs for the sign. Now the wind. Fastball in there, called strike one. So Kuna ahead of the two-man Tresson. Tresson fouled out to Wheeler at first base his first time through, and that changeup in the dirt blocked by Wheeler, and the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball stolen out of Saenz' glove, fouled down the first base line, as Tresson was way behind that fastball by Kuna. And Kuna had 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another foul ball, this one in front of the Renegades dugout on the third base side. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch by Kuna is a breaking ball sent up the middle, off the glove of the diving Walsh. And Tresson slipped at first base, and he's unable to advance as that ball squirted into left center field. So leadoff single by Tresson brings up the third baseman, Dalton Van Hill. Van Hill caught looking his first time through, bats here with no outs, runner on first base. The Renegades trailing the Panthers 3-1, top of the fourth inning. And fastball sent out to left field, drifting over slightly to his left to make the catch is Maimu Kobayashi, and Tresson back to first base. So one out on the fly out to the left fielder Kobayashi brings up Zach Patterson, who homered his first time through. So we'll see how Kuna and the Panthers attack Patterson this at bat. And saw one pitch from Kuna and sent it over the left field fence just to the left of the scoreboard here at the U. And off-speed pitch low and inside, ball one. Left-hander checks on Tresson at first base. Now the pitch is a curveball outside, ball two to Patterson. I appreciate everyone tuning in to today's 3C2A Game 3 NorCal Sectional Final between the Renegades and the Panthers in a winner-take-all, as the winner of this game will advance to next weekend's state championship in Fresno, California. They'll take on the top seed in Southern California, the Orange Coast Pirates. That game Saturday, May 25th at 6 p.m. at John Eulis Ballpark. And breaking ball is down and in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes to Patterson. We'll see how the Panthers play this one. We'll see how the Renegades play it. Will the Panthers stay away from Patterson 3-0? Will the Renegades give Patterson the green light? And the pitch. Fastball in there called strike one. So the count 3-1 on the outside part of the plate. Patterson not offering at the fastball from Kuna. So unfortunately, we weren't able to complete this series over the weekend as scheduled. But we do have a nice crowd here at the U this morning/afternoon for Game 3 of this series. And it'll be a busy day here at Union Stadium as that breaking ball is fouled down the third base line. Busy day here at Union Stadium as the Sac Joaquin Section CIF Baseball Playoffs Division 1 will play here this evening at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. McClatchy will play the top seed and defending Division 1 champion Vacaville Bulldogs, and that game will be followed by the 2-3 matchup. Jesuit, the 2 seed, Folsom, the 3 seed. So busy day here, and that pitch is inside, and Patterson doesn't like strike 3 as he looks back and has some words for Brian Wilkinson, but painted by the artist Tanner Kuna over the inside part of the plate. And Patterson back to the dugout, down on strikes, brings up Gallagher, the first baseman. So after the leadoff single by Tresson, Kuna comes back to get a fly out of Van Hill and a punch out on Patterson. And now lefty-lefty matchup as Gallagher fouls that one down the first base line past the Renegades' first base coach. So Kuna ahead, lefty-lefty matchup. Gallagher left-handed hitting first baseman for the Renegades is 0 for 0. Breaking ball outside, and the count's even 1 ball, 1 strike. So no official at bat here for Gallagher as he was hit by a curveball from Tanner Kuna the first time through and was erased on the first of 2 5-4-3 double plays that Kuna has induced here this afternoon. That pitch is sprayed down the left field line, tailing foul, and gets into foul territory. And Kuna ahead of Gallagher, 1 ball, 2 strikes as Tresson retreats to first, and Bradley Norton waits to pass the baton, the bat back to Gallagher as he'll bat behind Kuna, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, sorry we couldn't get this in, but Mother Nature here in mid-May. April showers bring May downpours here in Sacramento, California, but couldn't tell it rained at all looking at the field today at the U. Obviously, the infield was tarped all day yesterday and into this morning. But no standing water at all in the outfield that you can see. It is soft in spots, but great that we're able to play baseball today because the forecast calls for much of the same tomorrow with the rain expected. And fastball is just off the plate outside. Great pitch by Kuna. Just a little bit too far off the black for Brian Wilkinson to punch out Gallagher. And the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kuna sets the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Kept in front by Signs, and the count's full. And Tresson will have a head start. And we'll see if Wheeler even holds Tresson on first base or with the left-handed hitting Gallagher if he plays behind on his back hip, and that's what he will do. He will shift behind and range up with the left-handed hitting Gallagher, batting 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Breaking ball is in there, called strike 3. And Gallagher is down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts to end the 4th. Panthers still leading the Renegades 3-1. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. On the bottom of the 4th inning for the Panthers, it'll be Kobayashi, McClary, and Sayre, 8-9-1 in City's lineup. Panthers leading the Renegades 3-1, and that ball sent out to left center field off the bat of Kobayashi, giving chase is Clark, and he's there to run it down. So 1 pitch, 1 out, and that brings up the shortstop, Nick McClary. A good piece off the bat of Kobayashi, a line drive out to left center, but the ball hung up, and able to run it down was the left fielder Justin Clark for the first out, and that brings up shortstop Nick McClary, who is 1 for 1 here this afternoon. Fastball low and outside, ball 1. On the 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball in there, called strike 1. McClary has his sign from Coach Solon back into the batter's box. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Another breaking ball catches the outside corner, called strike 2. So Amato had 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball is sprayed out of play by McClary, and he stays alive. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. And McClary digs back into the box. Behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes as Andrew Amato looks in for his sign. Nisbet going through the sequence for Amato. And now McClary asks for time as Amato didn't see what he was looking for from the catcher, Cody Nisbet. And McClary resets. He's now back in the box. Breaking ball is low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to McClary. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Amato is fastball fouled out of play by McClary as McClary grinds it out, trying to get a board for the Panthers. McClary digs back into the box. Amato has his sign. He sets at the chest. The 2-2 pitch is another foul ball. This one back into the netting here at the U. And McClary stays alive. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. So for the Renegades here in the bottom of the 4th inning, line total is 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. For the Panthers, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. As McClary bats with nobody aboard, 1 away. Pitch by Amato is a breaking ball, and McClary hits it up the middle. Moving over to his left is the shortstop. Fires on to Gallagher at first as Norton retires McClary on the 6-3 putout. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. That brings up the center fielder, Dan Sayre. Sayre swings at the first pitch he sees. It's drifting into foul territory. And running out of room is the third baseman, Dalton Van Hill. So Amato ahead, no balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Sayre. Amato sets. Breaking ball. Barrel to the third baseman, Van Hill over to Gallagher, and Sayre's retired, and the Panthers go in order for the 2nd straight inning. We're headed to the 5th. Panthers leading 3-1. Well, for the Renegades in the top of the 5th inning, it will be Norton, Heverly, O'Brien, 6, 7, 8 in the order. And changeup is low and outside, ball 1 from Kuna. Panthers lead the Renegades 3-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Panthers scoring 3 in the bottom of the 1st. Renegades getting their run in the top of the 2nd. And zeros ever since. Left-hander Kuna winds. The fastball is over the outside corner, called strike 1. And timeout called by the head coach. So the life of the umpire, 50% you're right, 50% you're wrong. Depends on what side of the crowd you sit on. But anyway, we're back to action here as Kuna pitches. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball outside, ball 2. So the Ohlone fans not happy with called strike 1 on Norton. Panthers fans more than ecstatic to have that called strike 1. And that pitch is fouled down the right field line and gets into the Panthers bullpen out of play. The count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to the shortstop, Norton. And that fastball runs inside, and Norton fouls it right into his leg as he hops around. That is painful. And no shin guard, no leg protection. And the trainer out to check on Norton. Oh, Norton walking it off. Heads back towards the batter's box. Two-two pitch from Kuna. Fastball and another foul ball. This one down the third baseline. And breaking ball, off-speed pitch outside, stayed arm side out of Kuna's hand and nowhere near the zone. And the count's now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, fouled out of play by Norton. Three-two pitch is just inside, says Brian Wilkinson, and Norton heads down to first. And that brings up the center fielder, Max Heverly. So Heverly grounded out too short the first time through. And he bats with nobody out, 1 aboard here in the top of the 5th inning. Renegades trail the Panthers 3-1. Set. Fastball is hit out into left center field. There for the catch is Kobayashi in front of Sayre, and he gets the ball back into McClary. So hard shot off the bat of Heverly, but it hung up in the air there in left center field, and Kobayashi tracks it down. Sayre was playing over towards the right center gap, so he had a long way to run, and Kobayashi with the grab. Fastball inside. And Kuna behind, 1 ball, no strikes. Timeout called by the catcher, Kevin Sines. Kuna sets. Pitch is just off the plate, ball 2. I've just been informed by Athletic Director Mitch Campbell that the CIF games will not take place here at Union Stadium today. They've been moved to the host sites. So Vacaville will host McClatchy and Jesuit will host Folsom. Kuna sets the pitch. Fastball in the outside corner, called strike 1 against the left-handed hitting Luke O'Brien. Panthers defense playing straight up. Pitch is low and outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kuna sets at the belt. 3-1 pitch is up and out, ball 4. So 2 walks around the flyout to Kobayashi, and the Renegades have first and second for the 9-man in the order, Cody Nisbet. Nisbet drew a base on balls his first time through, and that'll bring out the pitching coach, Deskai Bomberry. After the trip to the mound by pitching coach Deskai Bomberry, first pitch out of Kuna's hand to Nisbet is a breaking ball, low, ball 1. Kuna inside move, checking on the runner. Norton at second base, no throw. And he gets the sequence from the second baseman, Daniel Walsh, on how they're going to hold the runner at second. This time no looks, and the fastball's in there, called strike 1 to Nisbet, the 9-man in the Renegades order. Kuna 2 looks on Norton that time. The fastball low and inside, ball 2. 2-1 pitch from Kuna is a fastball up and out, ball 3. So the left-hander struggling with his command here in the top of the 5th inning. Has already walked 2 this half inning and pitches with 1 out. 2 aboard, and this is the pitch. And this is the guy you want if you're Kuna and the Panthers. The 9 batter in the order. You want to challenge right here and see if you can induce the 3rd ground ball of the afternoon for a double play. Already with a pair of 5-4-3 double plays is Kuna as he goes to work. Count 3-1. The pitch. There's a breaking ball in there called strike 2. So Kuna comes back and does what he needs to do. And the count runs full to the catcher, Nisbet. The pitch is a changeup outside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded for the Renegades. And the top of the order, Justin Clark coming to the plate. So 2 walks by Nisbet in the game. As Kuna goes to work on the leadoff man, Justin Clark. 0 for 2 here this afternoon. And fastball on the hand, sent out to left field. Now moving back slightly is Kobayashi, and the runners are tagging as Norton will score easily as McClary cuts the ball off. And the Panthers lead cut down to 1 as they lead the Renegades 3-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. So the runners remain at first and second. O'Brien at second, Nisbet at first. And the designated hitter, Brett Tresson, stands in there. Fastball in there called strike 1 by home plate umpire Brian Wilkinson. Bottom half of the 5th, it'll be 2-3-4 for the Panthers. Galati, Signs, and Wheeler. As that ball change up in the dirt, blocked nicely by Signs. Prevents the runners from advancing. Breaking ball outside, fouled out of play by Tresson. And Kuna had 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kuna has the sign. Sets at the belt. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball beat to the third baseman on 1 hopper. Daini, he steps on third base for the 3rd out of the inning. The Renegades get a run back. But the Panthers still lead 3-2. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, bottom of the fifth inning here at Union Stadium in Sacramento, California. And the 4-seed Panthers of Sac City lead the 5-seed Renegades of Ohlone 3-2. This is the 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final. And what will be determined here today is the final piece to the state championship puzzle, which begins this Saturday, May 25th, down in Fresno, California. In the 12 o'clock game this coming Saturday, it'll be the top seed in the north, San Joaquin Delta College, playing the 2 seed in the south, El Camino. And at 6 p.m., the top seed in the south, Orange Coast, will take on the winner of this as that ball gets by the left fielder Clark. And advancing to second is Galati. So a leadoff single. And that ball skipped by Clark. And that brings up the catcher, Kevin Sines. So leadoff single and a free 90 feet on the air by Justin Clark as he let that ball skip by him. And the Panthers have Galati at second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. And now a check on Galati, and he slides back in safely ahead of the tag by O'Brien. Pitch by Amato. And Sines lays one down to the third baseman, Van Hill, his play to first base. And a nice sacrifice by the catcher, Kevin Sines, to move Galati up 90 feet for TJ Wheeler. So after the sacrifice bunt by Kevin Sines, the Renegades bring their infield up with TJ Wheeler batting with one away and Galati 90 feet away at third base as Amato sets. And the breaking ball is on the outside part of the plate, called strike one. A nice sacrifice bunt by Kevin Sines. Sines' first sacrifice hit of the season. And a double by Wheeler past Clark down the left field line. That'll score Galati. Standing up at second is Wheeler as the ball comes in to third base. And Wheeler delivers a big one-out double to score Galati. And that brings up the second baseman, Daniel Walsh. So Wheeler 2 for 3 this afternoon, 2 RBIs. And a big one there as the Renegades got a run in the top half of the fifth inning. Now the Panthers have responded with one of their own in the bottom of the fifth. And the Panthers now lead 4-2. And before Walsh's at bat, we will have a trip to the mound by head coach Michael Curran. So it'll be a pitching change for the Renegades. We'll step away and be back shortly. So for the Renegades, it'll be right-hander number 10, Zach Hines, in his 27th appearance. 44 innings of work, a 2-1 record, 2.05 earned run average. Hines pitched in game 1 of the series. The Panthers are familiar with the right-hander as he faces Daniel Walsh with Wheeler at second base. And before the pitch to Walsh, a check on Wheeler at second. Walsh 0 for 2, a couple flyouts to the right fielder Patterson here this afternoon. And that pitch catches the outside corner, called strike one. That kind stares down his catcher, Cody Nisbet, for the sign. Check on Wheeler at second now. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball outside, and Walsh holds up. And the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch by Hines is outside and low, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Walsh, one of 4 first-team All-Big 8 Conference selections on the Panthers. Walsh, the only infielder, coming by outfielders Dan Sayre and Anthony Galati, as well as catcher Kevin Sines. So Walsh bats here, and that pitch is fouled into the netting at Union Stadium, and the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. We appreciate all our viewers tuning in wherever you may be. For those of you on the West Coast, hopefully taking a nice long extended lunch break on a Monday afternoon. Panthers leading 4-2. The pitch is inside off the plate, and the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And some of the Ohlone faithful wanted that call, but the way that catcher Cody Nisbet immediately was checking on Wheeler at second, not framing the ball, he knew that it was off the plate. And the count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Hines is a breaking ball, swung on a miss by Walsh. And that's the second out, and that brings up the designated hitter, Nick Sorelli. So it'll be Sorelli's opportunity for an RBI here with Wheeler at second base, as the shortstop Norton stands directly behind second, now retreats back. And that pitch is on the outside corner, called strike one, says home plate umpire Brian Wilkinson. So a good group of Panther alumni in the house here at the U today for Monday morning/afternoon baseball. Meaningful May baseball being played here. On the line, a trip to the state championship, which begins this Saturday in Fresno, California. Series tied 1 game apiece between the number 5 seed Renegades of Ohlone and your host 4-seeded Sacramento City College Panthers. The 1-1 pitch by Hines is off the plate outside. And now Sorelli had 2 balls, 1 strike. Renegades outfield playing Sorelli deep. Slight pull as the 2-1 pitch is fouled straight back. And the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Panthers leading the Renegades 4-2. Hines sets at the belt. Check on Wheeler. Chase back to second base. No throw by Hines. Pitch. It's a breaking ball fouled up and out of play. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sorelli. Panthers already with a run across here in the bottom of the 5th inning on the RBI double by Wheeler that scored Galati. Breaking ball fouled out of play again by Sorelli. Sorelli 0 for 2 here this afternoon, but has been making these Renegade pitchers work as he continues to battle at the plate at the count 2-2. And a curveball is drilled out to right field, and that ball is out of here for Sorelli. A check of his line. His 4th home run. Again, limited action as he's been banged up and injured for the past 2 months or so, and he delivers in a big way for the Panthers. A 2-out, 2-run homer by the designated hitter, and the Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So Sorelli battles and then delivers. And the Panthers score 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning as Daini bats, and he's trying to put one over the other side of the fence here at the U. This one down the left field line, but he swings and comes up empty. And Hines ahead, no balls, 1 strike. So a home run for each club here this afternoon. A solo shot by Patterson in the 2nd, and now a 2-run shot by Sorelli here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Daini fouls that pitch straight back, and he's behind no balls, 2 strikes. Another pitch is fouled back out of play by Daini, and the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. So for Sorelli just to even get this opportunity, hats off to his teammates for, 1, qualifying for the postseason and getting through rounds 1 and 2. Sorelli had a couple ABs in games 1 and 2 and now gets the call to start in the DH spot, and he delivers in a big way for Coach Sullivan and the Panthers. He is 1 for 3 this afternoon with a 2-run homer, a big 2-run homer here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs. That last breaking ball by Hines misses low and outside, and the count to Daini, 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch, a fastball off the plate where Nisbet wanted it, and Daini does not chase, so the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hines winds. Pitch, the inside fastball swung on and missed. But the Panthers come back with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're headed to the 6th. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So Tanner Kuna back out to work for the Panthers here in the top of the 6th inning. Now leading the Renegades 6-2 are these Panthers. And he'll face 3, 4, 5, Van Hill, Patterson, and Gallagher. And first fastball misses, down and in, ball 1. That pitch is in there, called strike 1. Big breaking ball fouled at the plate by Van Hill. Ball squirts over in front of the Panthers dugout down the first base line, and Kuna ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball by Kuna is low and in the dirt. Backhanded by Signs. The count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Panthers needed that bottom half of the 5th inning after they'd went in order in the 3rd and the 4th, especially after the Renegades had got one in the top of the 5th. Ball over to the left side. Great stop by McClary just to even get to that ball as he sells out. Full extension, knocks it down, tries to pop to his knees. But Van Hill there aboard with the infield single, and that brings up the right fielder, Patterson. So for Van Hill, his first hit of the game. Breaking ball, low and in, ball 1. Kuna sets the pitch. Fastball low and inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Two 0 pitch is up out of the zone. Snap throw down to first. And back in safely is Van Hill. So Kuna behind Patterson. 3 balls, no strikes. Kuna sets the 3 0 pitch. There's a changeup in there called strike 1. As Patterson let that offering go by out of the hand of Kuna. Patterson still had 3 balls, 1 strikes. Fastball fouled off of Kevin Signs, and Brian Wilkinson, the home plate umpire, will give him a minute as he walks out to flip the ball to Tanner Kuna. As Signs walks around trying to gather himself after that inside pitch was fouled straight back by Patterson. And the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The sign says he's ready to go. Looks into the dugout for the sign. Kuna comes set at the belt. 3-2 pitch. Fastball, and that ball is flied out to right field. Giving chase is Galati, and he's there for the first out. Galati was playing Patterson over in right center and had a ways to run back and hit a soft spot out there in right field, but did make the catch for the first out, and that brings up first baseman Michael Gallagher. So Gallagher bats here in the 6th inning 1 aboard, 1 out. And Gallagher 0 for 1 this afternoon. Did reach on a hit by pitch. And that ball hit up the middle. Backhand by Walsh. Flip out of the glove to McClary. Over to TJ Wheeler. Unbelievable defensive play by the first team all Big 8 conference selection, Daniel Walsh. One to even get to that ball. Backhanded. Flipped it from the glove directly to McClary, who fired onto Wheeler at first base. Inning ending 4-6-3 double play. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So for the Panthers in the bottom half of the 6th inning, leading the Renegades 6-2, it will be Kobayashi, McClary, and Sayre. 8-9-1 for the Panthers as that breaking ball out of the hands of Zach Hines crosses the outside corner, called strike 1. So the third ground ball double play induced by the lefty Tanner Kuna. And great leather behind him, started by the backhand of Daniel Walsh. Previous 2 were 5-4-3 double plays. That one a 4-6-3 double play. But Kuna able to pitch around the leadoff single by the third baseman Dalton Van Hill. The 0-2 pitch is flipped out into right field, and coming in to make the catch is Patterson. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Nick McClary. So McClary bats with nobody aboard, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. McClary 1 for 2 this afternoon. As Hines looks in for the sign. Pitch is a fastball outside corner, called strike 1. Zach Hines pitch. It's a breaking ball low and outside, ball 1. I'm not sure what the Panthers and pitching coach Deskia Bomberry and head coach Sullivan will do in the top of the 7th inning, but another quality start in another game 3, back-to-back weeks for the left-hander Tanner Kuna, as he has the Panthers through 6. And the Panthers leading the Renegades 6-2. That pitch fouled out of play by McClary. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes in favor of the right-hander Zach Hines. Pitch is foul tipped into the glove of Nisbet, and he hangs on for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order, leadoff man Dan Sayre. So Dan Sayre digs in. First pitch he sees is hammered to the shortstop. Bradley Norton over to Gallagher, and his throw is offline. And Sayre will reach on the throwing error by Bradley Norton. And the right fielder, Anthony Galati, will bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning with 2 outs, 1 aboard. So sharp hit ball to the shortstop. Bradley Norton slides a couple steps to his right and comes up and throws the ball up the line, and Gallagher had to vacate first base to retrieve the ball. And a throwing error allows Sayre to reach with 2 outs. And the first pitch was a called strike to Gallagher, or to Galati, excuse me. Gallagher, the first baseman, just mentioned, vacated first base. Sayre out to a big lead at first. Check on him, and he's back in safely ahead of the tag by Gallagher. So again, Sayre with speed at first base, 16 stolen bases. Conservative list this time with the lead over at first base is Sayre, as that changeup is low and outside, ball 1. So for the Renegades, the third error of the ball game on the throwing error by Norton. The 1-1 pitch is a line drive to the first baseman Gallagher in fair territory. And we are headed to the top of the 7th inning. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So for the Renegades here in the top of the 7th inning, it will be 6, 7, 8, Norton, Heverly, and O'Brien. And back out to work for the Panthers is the left-hander Kuna. And the first pitch is inside, called strike 1. Left-hander winds. The pitch is low and inside, ball 1. Again, thanks for tuning in to the 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final and Game 3 of this Best of 3 series. Being played here on Monday due to the weather we've had in California. And that foul ball off of Signs. So he gets banged up again. Acuna had 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the winner of this will advance to the state championships in Fresno, which begins this Saturday, May 25th. They will play at 6 p.m. and take on the top seed in Southern California, Orange Coast. That breaking ball low and outside, blocked by Signs. And the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Acuna pitch Fastball flipped out to right center field. Under it and taking charge was Galati, and he does grab it as Sayre tried to run in front of him and snag it from him. And thankfully for the Panthers, that ball was caught, as it looked like Galati had it the entire way, and Sayre, who has priority in the outfield, might not have heard him came across, but nonetheless, F9, the first out of the inning. And that brings up the center fielder, Max Heverly. And he sends the first pitch he sees out to left field. Kobayashi goes back, now comes in right where he was initially for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down for Kuna and the Panthers against the Renegades here in the top of the 7th inning. Again, the Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. And for the Renegades, it'll be the second baseman, Luke O'Brien. Lefty-lefty matchup as he faces Kuna for the third time. Ground out to the first base, and that one fouled into the Panthers bullpen along the first base side of Union Stadium and walked his second time up. So O'Brien 0 for 1. Kuna winds. Pitch misses just inside, and the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Kuna has the sign. The pitch is a foul tip into the glove of Signs, and Kuna ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes of the Renegades second baseman O'Brien. The 1-2 pitch by Kuna is a breaking ball off the plate outside, ball 2. For the Panthers after the stretch here at the U, it'll be 3, 4, 5 in the order due up. And breaking ball that stays inside, arm side from Kuna. And O'Brien stayed in there on it. And it didn't break, didn't get him, but it was inside, and the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is a fastball in the dirt and gets away from Signs as O'Brien heads down to first base on his second walk of the afternoon. So 1 aboard, 2 away here in the top of the 7th as Nisbet shows bunt and pulls back and takes a called strike 1 from Tanner Kuna. So Kuna had no balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch is just off the plate inside, says home plate umpire Brian Wilkinson. And the count even 1 ball, 1 strikes. To the 9-man in the Renegades order. This is his 3rd trip to the plate. No official at bat as he has walked both times. And Kuna's 1-1 pitch. Another fastball, another one inside off the plate, ball 2. And Kuna looks in to say, where was that pitch? But it was definitely off the plate. And for Kuna, good time to hit the reset button and compete on this pitch right here. The 2-1 is a fastball squibbed off the end of the bat. It's going to be a tough play. Walsh coming glove to Wheeler. Another nice play to end the inning. This one ends the top of the 7th. We're headed to the stretch. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. For the Panthers, leading things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the catcher, Kevin Sines. 3-man in the order. Back out to work for the Renegades, right-hander Zach Hines. And the breaking ball is in there, called strike 1. So Hines ahead, no balls, 1 strike. Another breaking ball, this one outside, ball 1. So special thanks to Captain Math, our statistician up here on the board. And looking at Walsh defensively today, he has thrown the ball 3 times and glove flipped twice. So 2 5-4-3 double plays and a 4-3 put out. And then with the glove flips, initiating a 4-6-3 double play and a 4-3 put out. 2-1 pitch by Hines is a line drive out to the left fielder, and coming in and making a nice diving grab is Justin Clark for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. On a hard hit ball by Sines, Clark was playing him deep and had to come in and dive to make that grab. And 1 out for the cleanup man, TJ Wheeler. So the cleanup man, TJ Wheeler, steps in, facing Hines. And that fastball on the outside part of the plate called strike 1. Hines change up in the dirt, backhanded by Nisbet. And the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. This is game 3, decisive game of this best of 3 NorCal sectional final. The winner advancing to the state championships. And rollover ground ball by Wheeler, fielded up, scooped up by Luke O'Brien over to Gallagher for the 2nd out. And that brings up the second baseman, Daniel Walsh. The second baseman, Walsh, digging in 0 for 3 here this afternoon. And the first pitch, he sees the fastball fouled straight back out of play. Walsh looking for his first hit of the game. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another breaking ball and another ball. And now Walsh ahead of Hines. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-one pitch by Hines. The fastball sent out to center field. And Max Heverly drifts to his right, and he has the grab. We are headed to the 8th inning. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So Tanner Kuna's day is done after tossing 98 pitches. He yields way to the right-hander Colby Harrison to close things out for the Panthers. And for the Renegades in the top of the 8th inning, it'll be the top of the order, Clark, followed by Tresson, and then Van Hill. And the right-hander Harrison's fastball is up out of the zone, ball 1. Harrison's 1-0 pitch. The fastball skied high. Giving chase is Signs, and this one will get into the stands for a foul ball, and the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. So Harrison sets at the belt. The 1-1 pitch. There's another fastball. This one lifted out to shallow right field. Going back is Walsh, and he will have the grab for the first out of the top of the 8th inning. The Renegades down to their final 5 outs. And the designated hitter, Brett Tresson, coming to the plate. So sun really starting to shine here at Union Stadium as the clouds start to break up a bit. Panthers leading 6-2. 1 away, top of the 8th inning. Fastball in on the hands of Tresson, fouls down the third baseline. And Harrison ahead, no balls, 1 strike. Harrison's 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that just does catch Tresson. He heads down to first base, aboard on the hit by pitch. So that arm side breaking ball just did not bite out of the hand of Harrison, and Tresson's aboard for the third baseman, Dalton Van Hill. So Tresson remains 1 for 3 on the afternoon, and that brings up Van Hill, and he sends a line shot out to Sayre right at him, and that chases Tresson back to first base on the second out of the inning. Hard hit ball by Van Hill, but right to Dan Sayre, and that brings up the right fielder, Zach Patterson. So Harrison facing the cleanup man for the Renegades, Patterson. That fastball low and inside, ball 1. Harrison's numbers on the season, 38 innings pitched. This is his 23rd appearance. He opened game 1 of this series, pitched 2 innings. And as he was used in game 3 of the Super Regional, he is used in relief here in game 3 of the sectional final. And fastball is lifted foul down the third base line. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Tresson out to his lead at first. Short lead. Patterson awaits the 1-1 pitch from Harrison. Fastball in the dirt and squirts away from Signs just enough for Tresson to advance on the wild pitch. As that ball was in the dirt out of the hand of Harrison. The count now 2 balls, 1 strike. Two outs, runner on second. Harrison looks into Signs for the sign. Sets out the belt. 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball in there, called strike 2, says home plate umpire Brian Wilkinson. Harrison's 2-2 pitch is a fastball fouled back into the plexiglass here at the U. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch by Harrison, breaking ball hit to McClary. Fields it onto Wheeler at first, and the Panthers are 3 outs away from advancing to the state championship for the second straight year. Panthers leading the Renegades 6-2. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. So for the Panthers here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, it will be Sorelli, Daini, and Kobayashi, 6, 7, 8 in the order, looking to add to their already 6-2 lead over the Renegades. And the pitch by Hines is a changeup swung on and missed by Sorelli as he was looking for home run number 2 of the day. Flew open with his front shoulder. Head was looking at the softball field to see where it was going to land, and he swung right through it. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball to the second baseman, to Hopper. O'Brien over to Gallagher for a 4-3 putout in the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. That brings up third baseman Joey Daini. So Daini bats here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out, nobody aboard. And fastball is lined to the third baseman Van Hill for the second out, and that brings up the left fielder Maimu Kobayashi. So 2 quick outs for Hines and the Renegades. So he goes to work against Kobayashi. Breaking ball in there called strike 1. Change up in the dirt, gets away from Nisbet. So he tried to backhand it out of the dirt. Count even 1 ball, 1 strike. breaking ball outside, ball 2. Two-one pitch by Hines. Here's a breaking ball up out of the zone, and the count 3 balls, 1 strike to the Panthers left fielder. Hines winds. The pitch is a breaking ball, and that gets Kobayashi as he takes first base on a hit by pitch. And that brings up the shortstop, Nick McClary. Fastball by Hines is outside, ball 1. McClary 1 for 3 this afternoon, bats here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 aboard and 2 away. Facing Hines for the second time this afternoon. That breaking ball is in there, called strike 1. And for the Renegades, the scheduled batters in the top of the 9th, it'll be 5, 6, 7, Gallagher, Norton, and Heverly. Right now it's McClary against Hines. And that breaking ball up and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. McClary trying to keep the line moving and get it back to the top of the order for Dan Sayre. Another breaking ball, another ball outside. And the count 3 balls, 1 strike. And as Hines was coming set, time called by the home plate umpire, Brian Wilkinson. So we'll reset as McClary steps back into the box. And now Hines steps off. Hines sets at the belt. The 3-1 pitch is in there, called strike 2. So full count, 2 outs. Kobayashi will be off on the pitch. And the first baseman, Gallagher, lets Hines know that he's going to play behind the runner at first base. 3-2 pitch is hit, backhanded by the third baseman, Van Hill, over to Gallagher at first base. And we are headed to the 9th inning. The Panthers lead the Renegades 6-2. So for the Renegades, leading things off here in the top of the ninth inning, first baseman Michael Gallagher. Back out to work for the Panthers, Colby Harrison. And that pitch in the dirt, sliding over for the backhand save, was Kevin Sines. And Harrison behind 1 ball, no strikes. To the 5-man in the Renegades order, Gallagher. Fastball poured in there on the outside part of the plate, called strike 1. This is the 3C2A NorCal Sectional Final, and the final piece to the state championship puzzle, set to be determined here shortly, as that 1-1 pitch is fouled down the third base line out of play, and Harrison ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top-seeded Delta Mustangs will take the 2 seed from the South El Camino on at 12 noon this Saturday, May 25th. The winner of this gets the top seed in SoCal, Orange Coast, at 6 p.m. And Harrison sets down Gallagher as Gallagher chased a pitch up and out of the zone. And the Renegades are down to their final 2 outs. It'll be the shortstop, Bradley Norton, stepping in. Panthers looking to get back to the promised land, the Final Four of the California State Championships down in Fresno, where they were the state runner-up last year. Harrison behind 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch, breaking ball up out of the zone, ball 2. And Norton ahead 2 balls, no strikes. Harrison sets at the belt. The 2-0 pitch is a fastball in there, strike 1. Appears these Renegades are taking a strike here in the 9th inning, trailing the Panthers by 4 runs. And that fastball is drilled down the left field line, but in foul territory. And the count is even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, not much foul territory here down the lines at the U. But the ball off the bat of Norton lands there down the left field line. And the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Signs back into his crouch. Puts the fingers down for Harrison. Harrison now wiping. Sets at the belt. The 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball. Jams Norton on inside out swing, and catching it in foul territory is the first baseman, TJ Wheeler. And the Panthers 1 out away from returning to Fresno and the Final Four. Standing in their way, center fielder Max Heverly. Fastball in there by Harrison is called strike 1. Breaking ball misses just off the plate, says Brian Wilkinson. Pitch by Heverly is hit out into left center field for a single. Coming over to get it is Kobayashi, gets the ball back into McClary, but Heverly aboard and appears to be shaken up down at first base as he is down to a knee and asks for timeout. Now the trainer for the Renegades coming out. So stepping in for the Renegades, second baseman Luke O'Brien. O'Brien 0 for 1 with a pair of walks here today. And Panthers conceding second base to Heverly should he want it. As Wheeler ranges up with the left-handed hitting O'Brien at the plate, and the breaking ball is in there, called strike one out of the hand of Harrison. Harrison's 0-1 pitch, another breaking ball and another called strike. So the Renegades down to their final strike. Panthers one strike away from playing Saturday, May 25th down in Fresno against Orange Coast, the top seed in Southern California, in the opening round of the 3C2A state championships. As he looks into his catcher, Kevin Sines sets out the belt. Pitches a breaking ball hit out to right field. Going back on is Galati. He's there, and the Panthers are headed back to the promised land. They'll seek their sixth state championship this coming weekend down in Fresno. Panthers win 6-2. We'll be right back with a postgame wrap-up. So in 2 hours and 38 minutes, the Panthers have done it. They are headed back to the California Community College Athletic Association's state championship in Fresno, California. They will play the top-seeded Pirates of Orange Coast College. As the Gatorade bath for head coach Sullivan, he just stands there and embraces it down the first baseline. Final line totals first for the Renegades: 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. For the Panthers, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Top hitters for the Renegades: Zach Patterson, a home run. And that is it, as the Panthers scattered 4 hits for the Renegades. On the Panthers side of the score sheet, Anthony Galati, 2 for 3 with a double, 2 runs scored. TJ Wheeler, 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. And Nick Sorelli, a 2-run homer for the Panthers. With the loss, the Renegades conclude the 2019 season with an overall record of 37 wins, 12 defeats. Losing pitcher was the starter, Andrew Amato. His record 9-4. With the win, the Panthers improved to 34-13. Today's winning pitcher, Tanner Kuna, his record 6-3. There was no save. And again, the Panthers, the final piece to the California Community College State Championship puzzle, as they will be the 2 seed in the north, taking on the top seed in the south, Orange Coast College. So 3 of the same teams from last year's Final Four return: San Joaquin Delta College, Sacramento City College, and Orange Coast. The newcomer this year will be El Camino, the 2 seed in the south. So that State Championship Series being played this Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Memorial Day, the championship down in Fresno, California. Again, the Panthers draw the late game. They get the 6 p.m. game against the top seed in Southern California. We will have Tournament Central posted for the state tournament as soon as it is released by the 3C2A. For those of you that can't make the trip down to Central California for this weekend's action, we will have links for live stats and webcasts, as the 3C2A does a great job of state tournament coverage. So we will provide all that information as soon as it's available on SCC-Panthers.com. Again, the Panthers headed back to the state championships, looking to one-up last year's runner-up team and get the 6th state championship in school history for a storied SCC baseball program. Again, the final score, the Sac City Panthers 6, the Ohlone Renegades 2. This is Steve Gill signing off. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you down in Fresno.